I wore her again Wizard World of 2018. So I got to go into the vendor hall early morning on day one, and I was walking through the completely empty vendor hall. Corner of my eye saw one vendor's booth had a big old wall of Disney characters on it, and it said Thomas Estrada. I hunted him down and walked up to him. I think it was his wife that was with him, like tapped him on the shoulder, and he looks up and he was like up at the mask, like looking at every little detail, but he still had the phone number of the lead animator for Kida. Like, hey, is it okay if I send him the pictures? And I was like, yeah, please, yes, please do. At the time, he had just sent like a thumbs up, and I was like, oh, that's great. I got a thumbs up from the lead Kida animator. That's all I need. But later that day, I actually went back to Thomas's booth, and he was like, oh, hey, you got to see this. You got to see this. And he got a text back that was like, that is the coolest freaking Kida I have ever seen. I've done a couple cosplay competitions with her, and I've never placed. I don't care. The fact that I got to show her to them was all I want. That affirmation that like, yay, I didn't ruin his character.
What drew you to Atlantis?
As far as I can remember, it's one of the first Disney movies that dealt with kind of a more real-life setting of like people wanting to go in and eradicate a culture so that they could make a buck. Seeing like Kida and then the other characters in it standing up and, you know, saying like, no, these are my people, and protecting their identity was something that I really admired as a kid. And unfortunately that happens in the real world still to this day. Luckily, I haven't been on the receiving end of something like destroying an entire civilization, but the cosplay community is kind of that is my civilization, that is my people. You see gatekeeping, you see people who are like, oh, I support all cosplayers, well, except for you can't do that. Anti-body shaming and stuff, and then there'll be one person who breaks the mold with a cosplay, and these people who spout acceptance will be like, oh, well, you can't do that. Being a nerd, being a queer person, that kind of stuff is like, people will come into your community saying that they're accepting and that they want to be part of the community, and then, you know, it's like a worm in an apple sort of situation. I've had to stand up for people and stand up to people who believe that they can come into a community and take it for themselves. I've had people who tell me that I can't cosplay Kida because I'm too pale, but then on their social media or stuff, they're like, there's no right way to cosplay. It's like, okay. The more I did it, I realized that cosplaying in particular really helped me work around my social anxiety, because my social anxiety really stems from being judged for who I am. And when I'm in cosplay, I'm not myself. I get to be whoever I want to be, which is why I do a lot of princesses or just badass women, because they're who I admire and they're who I want to be. Having that disguise helped me let my guard down, basically. I was like, okay, you know, I have at least something in common with these people. If they don't like my costume, that's fine, but that doesn't mean that they don't like me, you know, because Kida is literally a swimsuit top and a tiny skirt, and I don't exercise. And so having people come to me and like, oh, you are way braver than me, like, thank you so much for doing that. I'm like, you should do it. Cosplay is for everyone, and if people tell you otherwise, then they don't deserve to be a part of the cosplay community.